going, and I still have my music playing in the background. So professional. So, welcome to the first stream of the new year. Probably too late in January to be saying Happy New Year, but we'll stick with that. So, we've been following on Twitter, or not that I posted much updates anyway. You can see things have changed a little bit. I've got a new setup. We've moved home, or house. I keep saying home instead of house. I've upgraded the camera, so hopefully that should be a little bit better quality than the shitty MacBook camera I was using before. As well as that, I've upgraded my MacBook to one of the M1 chips. So without a doubt, at some point in some of the streams, that will fail me, and I will have to resort to using different software because it'll probably break. So this stream's the new year. So I think let's get into it. Last time I did this, I don't know if YouTube actually recorded it or not for me, so I'm going to be recording while the stream, so hopefully that doesn't completely destroy my bandwidth, but let's get going. So, welcome to everyone joining. Let's start off with the traditional ASMR. I think I got that right for once. Wine porn. Now this is a fancier wine that I almost spilt over the laptop. The letters are in joint up cursive, so I am unable to read them, but it's a fancier bottle, so maybe it'll taste nice. I don't even know what kind of type. I guess like Malbec to me is a type of wine, or Shiraz, or whatever. Maybe is it like a strain of the wine, or is it a type of wine? It's nice though. It still needs to be chilled, but it's nice. If you don't follow, I put my red wine in the fridge because red wine needs to be cold, because I buy cheap red wine. So let's kind of jump into this, I can't really say weekly, this week's stream, because it's not weeks, it's for a fortnight. But the whole idea was, I seen a tweet and someone had built a Svelte wrapper around the web speech API. I thought this was really cool. I know there's something I could do here. I'm like, well, what if you could, use your voice on a website to control an action? And what if that action could be, searching? So originally I was going to use the Pixels API. With Pixels is this website that you get like random stock images for free, and as long as you credit the artist, then it's grand. But I ended up like hitting the rate limit last night, so then I kind of decided to defer back to my like old and gold solution of using the Giphy API, which seems to be almost unlimited requests, and they don't care what you use it for, because all their images are like hard linked to be, linking back to them, advertising Giphy as a service. So as much exposure as they want as much exposure as they possibly can get. Oh, my doorbell just went. Okay, seems to be fine. So it was probably Amazon. Yeah, got the thing confused there. So I wanted to build something using voice as like a kind of control, kind of like, hey Gorgle, in case you're watching this out loud, I don't want to trigger your device. So I thought, well, let's build a Giphy searching tool where you can use your voice to search for the GIFs. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the code. And new MacBook, new screen, so I'm like working off like a 4K screen, so hopefully the resolution is not atrocious to you when you're watching at home. I've zoomed in everything I can find. If you're watching along, don't forget to say hi in the channel or the chats. So as usual, starting off with a bare bones create React app application. Nothing's been changed yet. Now I've installed some MEM dependencies that I'm going to be using ahead of time, so you're not watching paint dry. But the main kind of things we're going to be using is the speech recognition API. the Giphy API, and then I find this really cool, and I'm going to be using this a lot more. Like, I hate rendering images, but this like React Photo Gallery, like look at this, like, you know, I can never code that up in CSS. Like, I guess I could learn, but I don't want to. Someone else has learned and provided me the ability. So the crux of it is this speech recognition API. So first we need to figure out how we can use it. So I've read a little bit about it already. I think there is a tutorial, but I think we can just jump ahead and figure it out as we go. And I'll be looking down to keep an eye on the chat and everything as we're going along. So let's kind of jump into code here. We want to clean some things up first. So we don't want a React image. We don't want our edit or our link. So we're going to get rid of that. If I just test in and then check our app. Yep, okay, that's looking well. So I guess first thing we want to do is we want to see if we can use the web speech API at all. So how can we utilize it? So from looking at like this basic example, I know from memory of looking at the API, it can take optional grammar, and the grammar allows you to quickly filter out certain words. For this, we want to take in any word possible, so we're not going to be dealing with grammar. So we have this speech recognition, so we need to define a new speech recognition. Because it's like a class constructor, I'm going to keep it outside of my component, so it only gets created once. So let's say const recog. This is not great for a dyslexic person to be typing. Recognition equals new speech recognition, and beautifully type ahead for us, so we don't have to worry about anything. I'm just making sure I keep all my images up with a streamer. I'm trying to like run like 500 tabs at the same time, which is not easy. Okay, cool. So we're bringing our recognition. So what can we do with recognition? So we're not going to do the grammars because I want to take anything in. Continuous sounds like something we might want to do. Language, I don't think we need to bother setting. I think a lot of this is like optional parameters that allows you to get a better API. So you can see here, document on body, click start. So I think that's where we want to work with. So we have a recognition. So we want to be able to trigger that to start. So we're going to go for a button. I think I actually have style components in here. Say we'll call record button. I haven't imported style components yet, so we need to import style components. So import styled from style components. Have I imported style components? Come on. Okay, I haven't imported it. So we'll install first. And then this is going to be styled.button. So we'll just save this. I'm seeing I'm getting compile errors. So I've seen this before where speech recognition doesn't exist. So if we grab this, open up the DevTools and go like that. Speech recognition doesn't exist. But what about WebKit speech recognition? That does exist. So I think this is not supported fully in browsers yet. So let's say That's probably not going to like that either. So I think we need to assign this as like a runtime variable because the ESLint is going to complain. So annoyingly, this looks like really bad code. But we can say speech recognition equals speech recognition, or not speech recognition, or web speech recognition. Why is that not picking that up? Oh, so that's the ESLint. Can we tell ESLint? Oh, failed to compile. This is where I was following the tutorial before. And I did have this right. Yes, we need to disable our ESLint rule. I think that's why it's not compiling. So we need to say ESLint dash disable dash next dash line. I wonder does that. Okay, that gets us further. So our app still compiles. We have a button that has nothing in it. I'd like to get a mic icon, but see, icon PNG. See if we can get one quick and easy. Open a new tab. See if we can download the image. So open image in new tab. Save image. And we're going to go to code, voice search, source, save. So you can put an image inside of a button, can't you? I think you can. Let's import our image. It's going to be mic from mic icon. We'll pass that as the source. And we'll give it an alt because ESLint complains. And that's the right thing to do before anyone says anything. So this is going to be huge probably. What am I missing? How do I make this a var? Because it'll handle a var because const can't be defined because I'm doing this weird or and. I wouldn't advise doing this. There's probably better APIs for this. So let's clean up our image a bit. We'll do some styling quickly on it. So you can kind of see where we're going with this. We're going to create a button with a mic icon. When you click on that button, it'll prompt the user to allow speech recognition on the site. I think I've done it on localhost already, so it won't ask me. But if you're a user, it would ask you, do you want the site to use your microphone? And then from then onwards, we are like, recording and listening to the voice. So let's say height 50 pixels, border radius, give it rounded, we go 50% or 50 pixels. Thought that would have done something. Try adding the width as well. That is border radius, isn't it? I don't know why that is not. Maybe because the image. No, because that's how you make avatars. You round them. Fuck it. It doesn't need to be round. It can be square. Oh, and then I guess we could say, I think it's ampersand dot disabled and opacity 0.5. So when it's being clicked, then it'll be, so if I go in here and I say opacity 0.5, like that shows that it's being clicked and it's recording. Yeah, you can't change, it'll only be an SVG if I could change the color of it. So now that becomes our record button, which is kind of, yeah. No, I have to do it on the actual image itself. Oh, yes, right. So I'm getting confused. Our image is the button. And then this is an image tag. Okay, cool. So now we need to actually start the record. Instead of styling things, we have nothing functional yet. So we can say on click. Images have an on click, don't they? That .log tab sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. So let's save this. Clear console, clear our console. Yeah, okay. There's an error at the start. Okay, that's fine. So we got our image, we can click on our image. So what is next? So if we jump back to our quick example here, it said recognition start, but then recognition on result. So we need to listen for results. Because we're doing this in React, obviously React has like life cycles, well now more hooks. We need to identify and watch for those. So that's where we're going. So why we're yes, when we want to record, we need to actually capture the results. So we're going to need to actually pull in some React APIs. So we're going to pull in use effect. Quick hack is to not actually import anything. Do your from, do React, and then do use. So then you get your autocomplete. Whereas I would love to do from React import and then what you want to import instead of import whatever from React, because your IDE doesn't know what you're going to import before it actually gets imported. I remember, I think it was Wes Boss was talking about this kind of concept before, and it would be very, very useful. So we have, yes, we have use effect. So we need to actually use before I get annoyed, I'm going to auto format. I used to 4 spacing tabs, whereas everyone else uses 2, and it drives me mad. Yeah, it doesn't work when you have a small screen, but I have a 4K monitor now. I can have big code. So we're going to do use effect. Use effect takes a function that gets executed. It also takes a list of dependencies. This is going to be 0 because we only want to run this once on the mount of the component, which isn't really a mount anymore. But so we're going to say recognition. Oh, actually, I didn't create a new recognition, so I can't do anything yet. So we'll call this, I hate using the word recognition, I can't really spell it either. Speech equals new speech recognition, because we're not giving it a grammar or any other additional settings. It can just go in like that, and then we can say dot on result. So on result is a function that is passed an event, and then we can do stuff on the event. So I can say the console.log on the event. So we'll want to log on the event, and then I want to see what the event looks like first. So that's fine, that's fine. And then on click here. So now we're going to say speech.start. So speech is spelled wrong too, so I'm going to fix that. Shift function F6. How do you rename? Refactor, rename, Shift F6. So double E, no A. Okay, it's fine. So let's clear our console, refresh our page. So I'm talking, but nothing's happening yet, as expected. I click record. Test, I am speaking. So we've seen some stuff in here. Let it wait. Okay. So we have the speech recognition event. What are we kind of looking for? The results. And then result is a speech recognition result. So results is an array. Speech recognition has an array as well. Transcript, click, record. Which I kind of guess is what I said immediately after was I clicked record. So let's try this again. Pizza. So there's a bit of delay before it actually does the action. And we go into result, first result, keeper. I've been drinking, and the Northern Ireland accent isn't always going to play well together. It's interesting though, it's interesting. So let's see if we can do more of this then. Well, how much we can do with this. So we can get this transcript out, so we want to be able to pull out this transcript and set it as a value. So we now need some state. And let's see. So yeah, we added some state, so now we need to add some state to our application. So we're going to say const speech. No, can't use speech. Recorded text and set recorded text. What am I doing? Equals useState empty string by default. So then in our use effect, so instead of logging we'll keep logging our event out, but we want to grab that result. Result always seems to be an array. Results is an array with one item, and then speech recognition is an array with one item. So we should be able to then say set record text to be event dot results. So it's actually autocorrect's picking this up. Results first one dot transcript, and we'll also log this transcript out. So save that. Let's refresh our page. Hello world. Hello world. Doesn't look like it wants to record anything after I get the first recording out of it, which is interesting. You can play about this. So there was that option I seen earlier when we looked at the API, which was continuous, which I feel like it'll just keep going no matter what. So we can say speech dot continuous equals true, because I remember looking at it and it was a boolean. So we can save this. We go hello world. Oh, I didn't click. Hello world. Hello world. I feel like it's trolling me at this point. Now it keeps on logging out lol. So let's see what our results look like each time. Hello world. I keep forgetting to click the start icon. Come on. Hello world. Okay, this is working. So each of these is now coming out. Pens is working. Close to being something bad. So every time I stop, it'll print out. So it's now continuously listening and continually recording. We can see the results popping up as I finish talking. So now our results is actually adding up and adding up and adding up. Okay, so I refresh that so it doesn't keep recording everything. So now we want to start adding to our state. So we need to keep on additionally adding to our state. So we can get rid of our log and we can say we want to get the last item, but if it's only got one, the length is 1 minus 1, which is 0, which is the 0 next. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to say is dot length minus 1. I might have to stretch my code out and make it more readable. So I'm going to say events minus 1, or the length of the event minus 1, which will give us the last result. Grab the transcript, but we need to say we want to add that to. So we're going to grab this and we're going to turn this into a function. Cur return a template string that takes the current value, adds space. We might have to change this after the fact because I want each sentence to be. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. We want to just grab the last one. Yeah, we're grabbing the last transcript and setting that as the state, and then we're going to render this out. So we're going to do p tag or h1, make it bigger, and we're going to say record a text. So we're going to save that, clear this. Hello world. Hello drunk world. Close enough. So as we're saying, it's replacing it, and we have this speech recognition where we continually keep talking, and that's going to be a long one. So it seems like every time I take a pause, it knows to stop and then print out. And for that being fancy wine, it's not great. If you've heard of the company 6 Mini Co, they do like a wine thing. The white wine I had was amazing, but for a red, I don't know, like everything's in fucking a foreign language and I can't read it, so I don't even know what type of wine it is. Assuming it's meant to be nice. I keep forgetting this is still listening to me and printing out everything I say. Yeah, that's an apt statement. Right, so we can successfully record voice and we can print it to the screen. Obviously, we need to do something with that. So this is where the kind of image search aspect of things is going to come into play, because I want to, whatever you say, we can search Giphy and return a bunch of GIFs. So let's do that part. So as I had mentioned earlier, we're going to be using the Giphy API. Thankfully, Giphy has a really decent like fetch API where you don't have to like build up your own like fetch object or options and call its API. You can just use its JavaScript library. So it has this thing Giphy fetch. It has its own React components, but they are very limited to what I want to be able to do. I'll get into that in another stage, but like the main crux of it, so like it has this grid which will render out all the GIFs, but you have to pass it a fetch function. I couldn't find an easy way to use the search where I could dynamically change the search query based on user input. I could have just not spent enough time on it, but it seemed to be a pain. Thankfully though, we have React Photo Gallery, which is then going to render everything for us. So first things first, let's connect up our Giphy search API. So reading the docs for this, we need to import Giphy fetch. So we're going to go do that now. Import, again, empty brackets from Giphy fetch API, not the React components. And we're going to import Giphy fetch. So then now we need another bit of state to handle our GIFs. So we'll just duplicate this and we'll say GIFs and set GIFs. And it's going to be an empty array by default because we haven't searched anything yet. I really should have left the recorder on when I was doing all this. This just to see the amount of crap. Okay, so I'm going to leave it recording. We don't have to. Oh, I should have left the console log in there to see how accurate it was, but we're going to leave that recording to see what comes out with it then. So we add in the Giphy fetch API. We have a bit of state that's going to hold our GIFs for us. So now we need to actually fetch them. So we're going to create a second use effect. The reason why we're creating a second is this use effect will only run, we only want it to run at the start because we only want to tap onto that on results. We don't want to be sending a new function on results each time because we only need to do it once and then that'll record all the results the whole time. Whereas this use effect, now it doesn't necessarily need to be a use effect. No, it does. And we'll get into why, but it will react to changes on, so whenever the recorded text changes, it's going to rerun. And that's going to allow us to like fetch automatically, so it is a full voice controlled setup. Oh, we're getting big lines. Dust in the wind, but it'll react. As I say, you know, speech recognition APIs are never perfect, and my accent isn't the best to deal with as well. So yeah, so we're going to do another use effect. And the dependency in this case is going to be our recorded text. So whenever our recorded text changes, it's going to rerun this function. And this is where we're going to fetch our GIFs. So the example they have here, they're doing the Giphy training, but I think it's near enough the exact same as far as I remember for the search. So we're going to do GF. Oh, we imported this, but I didn't define the API. So I'm going to say, break these up, const Giphy API equals new Giphy fetch, and I need to bring in API key, which I have in another file, and then auto import it for me. So that's the API key. It's in another file. I don't want to show it on the stream. It'll probably go public and get up anyway, but sure, fuck it. So then we need to say Giphy API dot search. So then search takes a couple of different parameters. So first one is going to be the actual like search text. So we're going to say recorded text or dogs. So whenever you first open the page, it'll not have anything. So we can make that dogs as the default search term. And then it can take a couple of options. So I think in this case, we're going to be copying some of these. So we don't have an offset because it's not it's not a paginated call. We're only ever fetching the same stuff every time. So it's going to be, we're going to set a limit, and that's going to be 10 GIFs because I think that's enough. We want to set our language, and that's going to be ES for English. And we're going to do, I think Giphy is really weird about these types. They call them stickers, which are like the small animated GIFs. And this autocomplete is really good. This must be typed very well. If I go into this, yeah, it's typed extremely well. So we're saying search for your recorded text. If there isn't recorded text, search by dogs. Limit to 10. Language is English. Type of stickers. So this is a promise. So we can say .then, and it's going to be GIFs, although we called our state GIFs. So it's going to have to be data, and then set GIFs to be data. Does that go there? Argument does not match parameter. I think that is all right. So, let's see. I think the Giphy API returns. So this is complaining. It doesn't match. I think it's doing a really good type inference. So if I look at this, it returns a promise, which gives you GIF results. GIF results extends result, but it's an object with data. So we're going to say response and response.data. So stop complaining there. So if we jump back to our site and we open up the network panel, we can see that we did make a call for our GIFs, and we look at the query parameters. Query was dogs. So I kind of want to log this out too. So let's fire in a console log. And jump back to our console and our browser. So refresh the page. Initial call brings back 10 dogs. We can see the data on each of these. And if you watch one of the previous videos, we did a bit of work with the Giphy API, so I'm kind of familiar with bits and pieces of it. The most important part is the images, and then I always go for original, just so it's not a cropped image, and it has all the data we need. So let's minimize that. So now let's turn on our speech. Pizza. So it picked up pizza, okay. So, yep, so it's picking up this. So that's all well good, but we need action on this and do something with it. So we need to bring in the React Photo Gallery API. So I've skimmed the README. You know me, I don't like reading documentation or READMEs. So the crux of it is you feed it an array of photos. This is still recording. Where are we? You feed it an array of photos, which have a source, a width, and a height, and then you pass it into the gallery element. So let's get that set up. So import from, it's gonna be, I imagine, React Photo Gallery, and gallery. After our H1, I'm gonna say gallery, photos and empty array. So we need to populate this, but if we look at our console log, so the React Photo Gallery takes in a list of photos which have a height, a width, and a source. If we look at Giphy images and we go to the, not looping, the original, it has a height, it has a width, and it has a URL. So that URL for us is going to be the source. So we need to parse this data first so we can map over it. So So map over each GIF and return a new object with width, and that's going to be gif.images.original. I love type completion, but I never write TypeScript. Dot width, and height is going to be gif.images.original.height, and our source is going to be gif.images.original.url. So now that's parsed in the data that we know React Photo Gallery can understand and work with. So now instead of this int array, it can be GIFs. I think we can save that. So by default we have dogs and it's not recording. We're going to actually stick in the recording state. So we can depress that button. Is listening, because Dr. Fraser Crane is listening. That would have been such a better theme to this application, and I only think of it 45 minutes in. The whole fucking I'm listening, and it was Kelsey Grammer sitting at this in the recording desk. Fuck it. I'm realizing my camera's not in the last panel. Well, that was the whole way. Sure, it'll be fine. So, yeah, didn't do that. Oh yeah, right. We're going right. So, it is listening is going to be our flag to say that we actually are listening. So, class name equals is listening disabled or empty string. And then I'm going to bring that down to 1.2 opacity. We need to update our on click to say that we are listening. Set as listening to be true. So let's refresh this. Pizza. Donald Trump. Big crying baby. Similar things. I like how that came up. Inception. Nice. I'm going to refresh this so it's not picking up everything I say. But that's okay. That's pretty cool so far. So, it's literally, I think it is working. So, let's do a little bit of code cleanup and then start prepping for deployment. As I done in previous streams before, I like to deploy this live as part of the stream so people can check it out. So we're going to say searching for, and I only want to show this whenever they have said something. So I'm going to say recorded text and searching for. What else? I wonder how responsive is this. Let's pull this out into a new window. I'm terrible at doing responsive. Giphy is quite responsive itself, so yeah, we can support a mobile. Perfect. And then above this, I want to say another H1. Because H1, semantic XML, that's what I think all that is. Click. Search, click the mic, and I only want to show this whenever they're not searching. So I can say not recorded text or not is listening, because I can know when they're listening. Actually, I'm going to use the, so whenever it's listening, we'll show that. Cats. Nice. Onomatopoeia. That actually worked. Okay, it's getting out of control now. So we have some text explaining what to do. Triggers the search. And we can show some GIFs. I think that's quite fun, I would say. So let's see, am I actually logged into GitHub? Can I create a new repo? Yes, I can. New repository. Voice search. I've already created a repository for this. I already deployed this in Netflix, but it's just an empty site. I'm pretty sure. Let's go to my repositories. Yeah, I have voice search, but this is just the Create React app. I haven't built anything into this yet, as you can see. So let's. I haven't set up all my get status commands. Let's add a get ignore. Oops, don't know if we can do that, can't it? New file, ignore file. It's going to be a get ignore file. I give you all these templates. Don't give you like a good template for JavaScript. Annoyingly, this doesn't include .ida. Ethan cache test. What is test? That can get weird. That was an old API key that wasn't needed. So get status, get add all, get commit. I haven't done a full command in a while. Get commit -m. No one reads commit messages, so don't bother. Get push. I don't know why I call this Hello Drunk World. I should call it Hello Mildly Drunk World. It takes me, because I'm coding so much, I barely drink. So let's refresh this. Should be different. Okay, that's great. Let's go to Netlify. And I think that's what it was. Let's go to site settings and change the name. So it's building. Normally I would do my ceremonial having a smoke and talking away, but we're in a new house and I don't smoke in the house, so I have a vape instead. So let's jump back to our site settings and open it up. So I wonder if I should take away the default dogs. Yeah, we've got time. I don't like that it automatically brings up a bunch of results because it just looks like it just looks like, you know, it's something to do with dogs, but it's not. Okay. Let's save this. Run the app again. Let's see how it looks. I'm going to change that text too. This is where I'm going overboard. We're thinking this is going to be some commercial project. Okay, how does this look? Not bad on small. I'm going to go for small because it looks good and small. It's going to look kind of raw. Pizza. Pizza. Yeah, that's better. So, add, commit, but change because nobody cares. Push. Should probably add the key to memory, but who cares? These are very cool. Let's kill this tab because it's still recording. This is okay. I was gonna say, if that had published already before I got to the site, that is super quick. I have noticed the Netlify builds are getting really quick, which I can only assume is an improvement by them. Print React app can be fast too, but I think this is super fast. So search for guests using your voice. Click the mic to start. Oh, there you go. So allow the mic. Donald Trump. Not bad. Awesome. Pina colada. There we go. There we go. Didn't pick that. There we go. Didn't pick that up. Or there's too many things. It won't. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. That works. Alright, okay, cool. We've managed to use voice search API to query the Giphy API to then bring back image results based on what we were talking about. I think we learned different things along the way. Pretty cool. First stream of the new year. Got more plans for different things. And for once I actually stayed on time and nothing went really, really terrible. So obviously everything's going to go bollocks up after this because it can never be that good. But thanks all the people who watched along. Hope to catch you in the next one.